We bring on-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today. Only lines across the ocean, to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara. We bring on-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates.
Representing people, Mr. President, my people are on.
Good morning and welcome to Open Conversation on Atlantic Television Network. Open Conversation is the network's flagship political platform through which trending political news, events, and stories are discussed with stakeholders. Through these conversations, ATN uses political talks about specific issues, party system, and actor to explore hope and engender positive impact to the society. Today on Open Conversation, we'll look at these stories. First, Rivers State. Assembly warns against dealing with caretaker committee. And on to Edo State, APC. We are open for adverse placements, bookings, and commercials. You can connect with us on all our ATN socials, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, and on Twitter, Atlantic TV Net. Watch us live on our website, www.atlanticnetwork.tv. We'll go on a short break. When we come back, we'll delve right into the show. Do not go away.
Economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for the immediate release of this minister in the Temple of Justice.
Give us access to our money we put in the bank. She said 3,000 is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira. Where are we heading to?
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth, the oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites. Which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the turn thing. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Corruption not in my country.
Driver, why you just dey jack us up and down like this now?
I hope nobody carry belle.
Why you ask oh?
Because this road where they see so, it no guarantee safe delivery.
We just dey vote for government, but we not get good governance.
At all.
Road so e no dey. Light o usai. The infrastructure nko, e come turn to be forbidden fruit for the city.
Corruption, spoil everything. Hello?
Hello, madam. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Mrs. Ayeni. I am calling from the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs.
Okay, I've been expecting your call.
Madam, remove this your phone from loudspeaker.
No vex, now my phone be like that. Hello?
Are you there?
I'm hearing you.
Yes. We saw a copy of your invoice for computers, printers, and laptops.
Yes. Are you working on them now?
Ma, the prices you quoted are way too high now.
Madam, sorry, please don't call.
We found the laptop you said is 1.8 million naira for 600,000.
Fuck day. I got
Behavior they kill our country. You suppose do things differently, make Nigeria for better.
Corruption not in my country.
This message is brought to you by the Akin Fadehi Foundation, the MacArthur Foundation,
and with broadcast support from Atlantic Television Network.
Corruption not in my country.
I don't get a lot. Boy, they won't booga me small. They say, man, give them bribe. I say nothing. Okay now, we go block him.
Hey! But first, you see the house rent with the old things. We go first call caretaker, take the money, slap him.
Beg, see, you know, say I get annual levy why they pay for club. Where me and boys they shark beer in our house, I could pay that one. You remember say me I tell you I go buy you motor. I go buy now.
Okay, They pay you money now. Why would don't they beg caretaker? Why would they beg landlord, old man, and they agree give us time? Money can't come now. You won't divert time. You said na corruption. Corruption, not in my house and not in my country.
Sure?
Sure.
Corruption not in my country.
This message is brought to you by the Akinfade Foundation, the MacArthur Foundation,
and with broadcast support from Atlantic Television Network.
Corruption not in my country.
Kasali! Kasali, I hope my car don't ready. I get interview in 30 minutes.
Okay, you don't ready. I just the last minute instruction where you give me yesterday. Now in the cause more delay.
Which instruction?
Maybe now you say make I change the meter, make you not read again.
Which time I make you change meter? Oh, Kasali, why you do like this now? Eh? You don't get sense. You don't read the text message. Nobody I want send them to. That Kasali, my electrician, make it come house, call me, do my meter so that you don't go to read again. You the electrician.
You say you know they behave like tea, all these stiff people.
Oh, what you change from your motor? What you change from?
Two lights. Fuel gauge. Speedometer.
For what you know? You for come out for home my motor. I bet you identify for me.
Okay. Now don't do something we corrupt. And something come backfire. Now go come they find how to dodge them.
What you talk?
They greet you.
Corruption not in my country.
This message is brought to you by the Akinfade Foundation, the MacArthur Foundation,
and with broadcast support from Atlantic Television Network.
Corruption not in my country.
What you want to buy?
Potato. Small baskets. I want plantain. But why your plantain can't hard like this?
Madam, now the outside hard. Inside there, it is very soft.
Madam, wallahi make her no buy. Make her show you something. What? What's in this one? Madam, this one now the chemical what they put on for the plantain make her ripe up.
So you dey put chemical for plantain where people go chop?
No, water, no be chemical.
Water. You know, say Pela, I don't talk and say water and not be enemy. Drink them.
Where you collect that water, drink them.
I just stop finish. See my belly. It don't big. I just stop drink water finish. I don't drink.
Wait, you drink them now. At the selling plantain, I go come put on for chemical because I want to make a ripe go. That's why I talk now corruption. Corruption. Not be for this kaswa, come not be for this country. Now me take
Corruption not in my country.
This message is brought to you by the Akinfade Foundation, the MacArthur Foundation,
and with broadcast support from Atlantic Television Network.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
We will condemn this act and call for the immediate release of this minister in the temple of God.
Give us access to our money we put in the bank. POS operator, she said $3,000 is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira. Where are we heading to?
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth, the oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites. Which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the taunting. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Corruption not in my country.
Driver, why you just dey jack us up and down like this now?
I hope nobody carry belle.
Why you ask go?
Because this road where they see so, it no guarantee safe delivery.
We just dey vote for government, but we not get good governance.
At all.
Road so no dey. Light usai. The infrastructure it can't turn to be forbidden fruit for the city.
Corruption, well, every
stay. Hello?
Hello, madam. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Mrs. Ayeni. I am calling from the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs.
Okay. Okay, I've been expecting your call.
Madam, remove this your phone from loudspeaker.
From the line across the ocean, on the happenings around the globe. From the line across the ocean to the land.
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for the immediate release of this.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Joining me on Open Political Analyst, he's the pioneer leader, Deservation Project 774 local government areas in Nigeria. Good morning, Honorable Land.
Yeah, good morning, Choma. How are you? Good morning, Nigerians.
And on to the story. River State House of Assembly has frowned at the continued stay in office of the caretaker committee chairman despite a judgment of the Supreme Court declaring them to be illegal. At the plenary on Monday, the leader of the House, Major Jack, informed members of the certified true copy of the aforementioned Supreme Court judgment in his possession, which he laid bare before the Speaker. Debating on the statements by the House leader, members condemned and berated those they described as impostors and warned all banks, traditional rulers, governments at all levels, non-governmental organizations, and those doing businesses in River State not to transact any business with unelected individuals parading themselves as caretaker chairmen, meant for the local government councils for wanton squandering in the name of non-existing caretaker committees. Speaking further, Right Honorable Ameule urged the police and other security agencies to swing into action and arrest the impostors to avoid further breakdown of law and order in the state. Right Honorable Ameule emphasized that the 10th River State House of Assembly, in accordance with the provisions of Section 7, Subsection 1 of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, has altered only democratically elected officials to manage the local government council, and that the Section 64, Subsection 1 of the River State Local Government Law Number 5 of 2018 further empowers the House to give directive that only democratically elected officials should pilot the affairs of the councils. Reiterating the position of the House, the Speaker stated that the House would not fold its arms and condone the crass disregard to the law of the state and the judgment of the Supreme Court of the land by some impostors. Honorable Land.
Yes, Choma.
What is your immediate reaction to this?
Choma, thank you very much for this particular issue. I would like to go straight to the point as it is, because it is regrettable, you know, and laughable at the same time that having acknowledged that because of the verdict of the appeal court saying that all parties should return to status quo, not derecognizing the Honorable Speaker of the 10th Assembly in the person of Right Honorable Victor Kojombo, who swore these caretaker committee members in. You know, it is one thing to have a law, and it's another thing to interpret the law. The 1999 Constitution as amended actually did not make provision for interpretation of the local government to fall bare within the hands of the local government council. Rather, he enshrined that responsibility on the status of assembly. And you also agree with me, based on what the 1999 Constitution as amended, you know, has made, most of the states, even before the Supreme Court judgment, you know, on local government financial autonomy, you know, was, you know, released a few days back. You know, most of the states have already included that clause in their state laws, just like the River State's law, you know, Rule 5, 2018. It states categorically that in the absence of local government, elected local government chairman and officials to continue in micromanaging the affairs of the local government, that a caretaker committee ought to be established or inaugurated to manage the affairs of the local government within a short term while the local government elections are made available. And you will recall as well that even before the Supreme Court judgment, the governor of the state, His Excellency Samuel Posinibo Siminalayi Fubara, has already informed through the RISEC, has informed the good people of Rivers State that the local government elections will be coming forth, I think, if I'm not mistaken, on the 5th of October. And when the tenure of this former local government chairman, elapsed on the 17th of June, the governor congratulated them and, I accorded them and eulogized them for some of them, the jobs they did so much, which I can also recognize. There are still some of them that for the 3 years that they were in office, believe me, I will tell you that within the 23 local government, which I am privileged as the pioneer leader of the Observation Project 774, I know details of most of the infrastructures and as well as the deficiencies that most of this local government has suffered within the 3 years that these particular people were in office. Take for instance, if you go to Ikure local government, the former local government chairman of Ikure local government, he did some marvelous jobs. When you see somebody who do something right, you give them credit. He did some good jobs in terms of renovating the local government council. If you also go to our Port Harcourt city anyway, you don't see so much apart from the renovation of the local government council and as well as a few markets within the Port Harcourt local government area and some other places. But how about other local government? Take for instance the Kana local government. This is a particular local government that is very, very critical. Kana local government is a host local government to one of the major state-owned citadel of learning, which is the Kensaruwa Polytechnic. But you agree with me that for almost how many years they don't even have light. But now even the caretaker committee that the governor inaugurated, courtesy of Honorable Marvin, you can see the up to 2 months. So what am I trying to say? The Supreme Court judgment stated categorically, the Supreme Court did not say that anybody who has already occupied as an existing caretaker committee should vacate office. Sometimes it's very, very, very painful that people who we expect, who are supposed to be lawmakers, who are supposed to help the people, make laws that are pro-people, who are supposed to help the people, interpret certain things. Because like you and I will agree, the parliament remain the bedrock of a democratic society. And in a situation like Rivers State, where we have a factional parliament led by Martin Chikameule that continue to, misinform the people just because of their personal pursuit, believe me, is uncharitable to the good people of Rivers State. And I must say it, notwithstanding the fact that their case of validity is still in court. I think that at this moment, what they should do is to look at how they can continue to incite people, negatively. Let me say, for instance, according to the statement of the leader of the house, the leader of the house said that these people go about, withdrawing money from the government purse and as well as go to market. And you remember also that most of these caretaker committee chairmen are even yet to inaugurate revenue committees within their local government. Most of these caretaker committee chairmen are yet to even mandate their people to start, going about to generate revenue. If you go to Obiakpo local government, for instance, Ambassador Chijoki, who was my very good friend, remember, any state that does not have democratically elected local government chairman, it affects their own FAC with immediate effect. And also you agree that the Supreme Court, the federal government, after the Supreme Court judgment, and the state governors, the 30 state governors, after the statement they communicate by the governors forum, has come out to say that they are trying to work out, a mechanism within the next.
If you recall, when the Supreme Court summarized this ruling, it says that that judgment takes effect immediately.
Okay.
The order was with immediate effect. When the Supreme Court rules and says the implementation should be with immediate effect, what does it mean? What's the implication on the states?
Choma, thank you very much. I want to, first of all, before I go about, because I wouldn't want us to maybe misinterpret or misrepresent the Supreme Court. You also agree with me that the Supreme Court, like you know, is an arm of the judiciary, and the judiciary is an arm that was established from the 1999 Constitution as amended. And the 1999 Constitution as amended, if the Supreme Court, which is the apex court of this country, gives a verdict that each and every one of us ought to fall in line immediately after such verdicts are read. I also believe that the Constitution of the Federation supersedes whatsoever, because I'm coming, because the reason why I'm stating that is this. You will recall vividly that until a court of competent jurisdiction is yet to interpret to the good people of Rivers State what section 109 subsection 1G of the 1999 Constitution has altered, which stipulated clearly, which is supposed to. I'm coming. No. I want to join the issues because you asked a question. I want to make you understand that the authenticity of the validity of Supreme Court cases. Okay.
You are bringing in so many issues.
Absolutely.
I allowed you to extrapolate, to really speak your mind, but at this point, we will limit it to the conversation.
Okay, on the local government.
The issue is on the authenticity of the
caretaker
committee chairman.
Okay.
From that particular issue, you have been shooting a lot of bullets at the State House of Assembly. You have addressed the factional speaker. You have addressed everything. You've made cases for your friends that you said that are caretaker committee chairman, what they are doing and what they are, and the people and the outgone chairman, what they have not done well. It's fine, but now let us look at the matter, the meat of the issue, and not deflect. Okay. So do not bring section 109 subsection G. It does not have any bearing to the conversation.
Okay.
The conversation is strictly on local government and not on the legislative arm of the government, of the state government as well. Now, the Supreme Court gave a judgment and said it is to take effect immediately. It is to be implemented immediately. I asked the question, what is the implication of that ruling with respect to its immediate implementation?
As well as someone who is very well aware of what the parliament is all about, I think I want to inform you on certain things. The Supreme Court said it takes effect immediately. And when the Supreme Court said it takes effect immediately, everybody ought to fall in line. But the state governors, remember, I want to take your mind aback a little. We had a situation where the Supreme Court as well gave a verdict about 3 years back during the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari, on this same issue. Remember that there were issues that were cited because before laws go around the whole federation and become sacrosanct, after Supreme Court gives judgment and it goes to the National Assembly and the National Assembly passes it and backs to the president and president gives assent, it is now mandated to the National Assembly to circulate the same memo to all the state house of assembly. So that's the reason why I am trying to call your attention to the originality and the powers of the 1999 Constitution as amended, which is also where the Supreme Court derives its power in giving judgment. We are not saying that the judgment of Supreme Court ought to be flouted. No.
Now hold on. One of the judgments, one of the things the Supreme Court said, it said the judgment held that the use of a caretaker committee amounts to the state government taking control of the local government and is in violation of the 1999 Constitution. Now, you have quoted the local government law that you said supports the existence of caretaker committees, correct?
Absolutely.
And the Supreme Court, in interpreting the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, not the Rivers State local government law, as you are quoting, is supremacy, because you are giving the Rivers State local government law supremacy above. Hold on. I am going by your Supreme Court. Cannot be in violation to the Nigerian Constitution. And I should not also forget that there was a local government law, Rule 5, that authenticated the existence of this caretaker committee chairman. And I asked you a question. Are you saying that the Supreme Court judgment does not hold water? You now made your background statement and now said that there has to be processes for that to be adopted into the Constitution. That's what you said. And now I have asked you, are you saying Constitution with regards to the autonomy of local governments, councils, and the election and having democratically elected council chairman as against the...
Let me first of all make a little clarity to what I said earlier. Maybe you didn't get me correctly. Now, like I said, 1999 Constitution made provision that some states ought to make laws. They will have the exclusive list, laws that ought to be made within the National Assembly that is binding, and we also have the non-exclusive list, which is the concurrent list, that states assemblies ought to make laws, which the local government laws, falls within the powers of the State House of Assembly. I'm coming, Choma. No, it's not in contravention. That is the reason why I am stating it like that, the way it is. If you look at the 1999 Constitution as amended, second schedule gave full interpretation of the responsibilities, the definition, and the job specification of a local government council. And there is some of the governors, out of the 30 states of Nigeria, most of the governors has weaponized this particular second schedule. I'm coming. I want to throw clarity. I agree. But let me just throw that clarity.
Can you answer the question?
Now the question is, the local government law made by the State House of Assembly does not override the Supreme Court. But like I said, when a Supreme Court obey it, but just like everybody must obey it, there are procedures for it to get down to the grassroots. You don't just state it on air and it remains afloat. When Supreme Court makes a judgment, the procedures for it to go down to the grassroots, down to the unit level, that is how it is. So we are not saying that the Supreme Court...
Hold on. What are the Supreme Court said to be implemented with immediate effect?
And that is the reason why you say the National Assembly immediately bringing back to try to alter the 1999... Because if you look at the National Assembly right now, both the Senate, they have gone into the constitutional review so that some acts of the Constitution can be amended.
Hold on.
Yes.
Now, you have said a lot of things.
Yes.
Now, Honorable Land.
Yes.
You have made a case here that the local government is saddled with the responsibility. The State House of Assembly, is saddled with the responsibility
to make laws for the local government. Absolutely.
And whatever laws they make for the local government should be honored and respected. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Now, I have also made it clear to you, going by the interpretation of the Supreme Court, that the law of the River State House of Assembly establishing caretaker committee chairman, according to what the Supreme Court said, they said it's in violation with the 1999 Constitution. But you still made a case for the River State House of Assembly that they actually have that right to make that law. But I find it concerning to a large extent, Honorable Land, because on this show, if you recall, when we had a conversation around the tenure elongation of the outcome chairman, or not even an outcome chairman, tenure elongation of
their former government chairman. Yes, go ahead.
And you said that the River State House of Assembly does not have the right to make that law. And one of the arguments that you made was that that law is at variance with the 1999 Constitution. That whatever law the River State House of Assembly will make for the local government must comply to the 1999 Constitution. Now, I am discombobulated that here again you are also making a case for the authenticity of the caretaker committee chairman and you're basing your argument on a local government law that the Supreme Court has already, by its judgment and interpretation, says is in violation to the 1999 Constitution. So it's kind of confusing, don't you agree? But very quickly before we go, it's also very important that I point out something when you talked about the caretaker committee chairman, and you said that Chijioke Ihunwo is your friend, correct? And you also said the things he has done. And if that is true, according to you, then it's applaudable. But in the same breath, you recall that the same Chijioke Ihunwo, within a short time, in less than 1 month, appointed 100 aides to himself. And he actually made that statement on his ex-handle.
The local government law of 2018 in 2024, just because they wanted that to be an opportunity or the lacuna whereby the tenure elongation of the existing democratically elected local government chairman can become a law. And 99 Constitution from ab initio of establishment 1998 ushering judgment, no apex court in Nigeria has been able to overturn that until when we now started talking about the funds that are meant for the dividends of democracy to get to the grassroots. So coming back to the last submission you made as regards Ambassador Chijioke Ihunwo. The reason why I call Chijioke Ihunwo my friend, it's not because that I have personal ties with him on one-on-one, although we speak, so close to the corridors of power of the serving governor of Rivers State today. But I can tell you that when Chijioke Ihunwo appointed 108 or over 108, under the caretaker committee, that the Nigerian police force gave an order through the IGP to barricade the local government councils, which also created a lacuna for most of these local government caretaker committee chairmen to function properly, and which made need for them to have need to appoint more persons. But not up, I am not justifying that the number ought to get to 100.
Honorable Land, but very quickly, and that's not a question but a statement, when you said that the Amehule-led faction, the amendment of the local government law extending the tenure of the local government, a less threat to burn down the country. The state acting chairman of the party, Emperor Jarrett Tenebe, made the call on Monday in a statement made available to newsmen in Benin City. Tenebe said the governor, in a viral video, threatened to burn down the nation if the murderers of Inspector Ako Ono in last Thursday's attack at the Benin airport are not arrested by the police. The APC chairman also called on the state legislators to immediately condemn Obaseki's reckless and dangerous threat to burn down Nigeria. He posited that to forestall and end the governor's alleged unprecedented heinous plans, the Speaker and members of the Edo State House of Assembly should immediately start his impeachment process, which has become overdue. He said Edo people can no longer watch Governor Obaseki's incessant violent politics, which has heightened insecurity in the state. Tenebe alleged that Governor Obaseki has readily armed the Edo State Security Network and public work volunteers to kill, maim and wound anyone who holds contrary views to his divisive administration. He noted that Obaseki's latest violent threats against Nigeria and Nigerians is a descent into madness that must be quickly tamed to avoid anarchy and a breakdown of law and order in Edo State and Nigeria. He further alleged that avoidable tragic incident of last Thursday, July 18, 2024 is a vivid example of how far state-sponsored extrajudicial killings have been going on, but are covered by the state government with deceptive reports of intercult fights in the state. Tenebe stated that it is time to stop the governor before he allegedly carries out his threats. Honorable Land,
yes.
You were smiling while I was reading the story. What is your immediate reaction to this? And why do you find this story funny, by the way?
First of all, I'll start with the later. The reason why I find it very funny is that Tenebe, based on his antecedent, whom I know very well, based on my avalanche of reaching out to the 704 local government, he has a similar history or political story of the caretaker committee chairman of Rivers State, and that is the reason why, if you also watch his statement, the
committee chairman of the
APC in Rivers State, you know, that's the reason why I continue to smile, you know, because this was also the same move that the caretaker committee chairman of the APC in Rivers State also made when he said that, in quote, I want to quote him, that the APC State House of Assembly members, which you and I know who they are, that they are still looking for how to confirm their validation, and the party that they belong within the apex court should make a move on impeaching the governor of Rivers State. Now, coming back to the subject of the day, first of all, it is very regrettable that people who took oath to defend this nation, both as military and paramilitary and all other security architectures of this state, continue to die every single day. Believe me, my heart wreck. Just like yesterday, I received a sad news. One of my former staff in one of my companies in Abia State called me. He's 68 years old, only for me to be informed, Honorable, that his only son, that will be 35 by September 25th, it is first, just in Aba in Ungwa Road. And I felt so shattered. Why am I saying this? It is now becoming a norm. As a matter of fact, Nigeria now is now seeing it as an acceptable mantra, whereby people who happy in totality, and I take total dissatisfaction with the statement of that chairman, for him to see the passion and dedication of the governor looking for justice for a man who took an oath to defend and secure the life and property of his fellow citizen, to be slain, and you're saying that such a governor should be impeached? For crying out loud, that is double standard. And again, sorry, is submission.
Yes.
Back again to the argument. The Edo APC has a history right from the time of my very good elder statesman I respect so much, in the presence of distinguished Senator Comrade Adams Oshomole. You understand? The Edo APC has history. even before Governor Obaseki joined the PDP, there were a lot of abnormalities that has been ongoing. But you will recall that from the time Governor Obaseki joined the People's Democratic Party and emerged victorious in his second tenure, there is a lot of calm in Edo State in terms of security breaches. In terms of the only thing that has started most of this issue, you recall, was the very moment that Shaibu, out of his personal aggrandizement and his personal pursuit, which he's entitled to, in my opinion, said that as a deputy governor, he must succeed his principal. And I say, yes, by the Constitution of Nigeria, you are entitled to make such, ambition known. But it is not anywhere written or stamped that the governor must hand over the affairs of the state to you. And that is the reason why, if you look at the activities of Governor Obaseki, he has been one of the major best governors that Nigeria in today's situation have. Because the governor of Edo State is the governor that is paying the best minimum wage in Nigeria. The governor of Edo State.
Are you basing this particular award, let me use that terminology, that you have given to the governor, are you basing it, what are your variables?
Now, I will tell you my variables and the ratio why I made such statement. If you look at the last award that was given, you understand today that awards of merit today in Nigeria are no longer given to those who merit them. As a matter of fact, meritocracy is now out of.
What are the variables?
The variables are: one, activities and project that he has been able to accomplish.
Can you name them?
Well, I am not from Edo State,
no,
but like I'm coming. Yes, hear me. Yeah, absolutely. The reason why I'm speaking authoritatively is that as the pioneer leader of Deservation Project 774, which cuts across the 774 local government, I can tell you that in most, I think I have over 6 local governments that are my coordinators in Edo State.
Name the projects of Governor Obaseki.
The governor, see. The truth is that, Choma, let me tell you, the governor on education, the governor has done well. On human capacity development in Edo State, the governor has also, I score him 7 over 10.
In what ways?
Choma.
What human capacity? Because when people want to say some things without being specific,
yes,
they give it an ambiguous title. So when you say human capacity development, it's ambiguous. What name the human capacity development?
Choma, when I said human capacity development,
categorized into human capacity.
Now you agree that
I don't agree because I don't
okay. In as much as you will not agree, assuming that you don't agree with me, but still,
what I mean by I don't agree is
you are yet to see the fact. Okay, fine. Now let me add to what I've already said. In human capacity development, Governor Obaseki has made provision for a lot of grants. I'm not talking about loans, which is something that is now flying here and there for government. Made available grants for young entrepreneurs in Edo State. Okay, I think one of the grants that the governor of Obaseki approved a $5 million dollar grant.
Have you seen the beneficiaries?
Well, it's there for public to verify. Like I said, one of my members, of my political group, you understand, is a beneficiary of this particular scheme. And I can tell you, also in the on the issue of the minimum wage, the living wage of the good people of Edo State, even before the federal government came to accept 70,000 naira as the average for minimum wage, the governor of Edo State has approved that over, if I'm not mistaken, over a year before even the federal government come to truce with labor union. And he, understanding that the good people of Edo State and Nigerians.
Sorry, the $750 million.
I didn't say $750 million. I said $5 million grant.
$5 million grant.
Yes.
Okay.
I didn't say $750 million. So now you see that these are avenues that the governor, and not just only that. Let me also tell you, before, Edo used to be known for touting, especially the capital city of Edo State. Used to be known for youth restiveness, you know, high-handedness, and a whole lot of uncharitable behavior. But today, if you go to Edo State, believe me, Edo is like a Polish Port Harcourt city, because people now behave themselves. Business owners no longer run around, are no longer afraid of their businesses being molested, or maybe they do businesses and they lock their places, and yes, they do businesses, they lock their places, and
you've made mention of that.
Next, you know,
infrastructural development.
On infrastructure, monumental infrastructural project that the governor of Edo State, Governor Baseke, has injected to the life of the people of Edo State, which has economic value. We are not just talking about infrastructures that are just bogus or big and humongous in size. We're talking about infrastructures that are economically driven and also has economic impact to the people.
Have you been to Edo State?
I think the last time I visited Edo was when I had a short flight, you know, from Abuja, you know, coming down. I had to have a short routine route through Edo. I think that was the last time, and that was, if I'm not mistaken, that was 2022, prior to my election preparation.
I think that may inform a lot of things you're saying right now.
Absolutely.
Probably you have not been to Edo State.
Of recent.
Because if you have been to Edo of recent, probably you will hold different views to some of the things you have said.
Well, like I said.
Because I am, that's why I'm asking you questions, because I've been to Edo and
recently
I have always frequented Edo.
Okay.
Correct. So that's why I am asking you questions and I'm smiling, but I am not here to start disproving the things you have said.
Okay.
But I would rather you do more research on the current state of Edo State, and then some of the infrastructures you claim that the governor has done. I think it will be fair enough, so that some Edo people who are listening do not get angry at some things. Yes. Now, moving forward, now you have made a case for what the governor has said. You said he is right to have made that statement that, you know, gave rise to the political ecosystem right now. One would wonder, the victims in this matter, who were the victims? If you consider who the victims were, would you say that Jared Tenebe does not have the justification or the locus to react to the governor's statement? If you recall, the attack was on the APC Guba candidate, as well as Shaibu, as they were returning, as they were coming into Edo State at the airport. The attack was on the candidate of the APC. So when that attack happened, and you expect the APC caretaker chairman to be silent and not cry out. Now, it's one thing that issues are ongoing, and another thing that the politics in Edo State is about to take a violent turn. That should bring concerns around the safety of the electorates, of the voting public in the upcoming election, and the role of the masses, the illiterates, the politically illiterate masses, who will be used by these politicians, as it were. Now, Shoaibu, on the other hand, has come out to accuse the government of being complicit in that attack. So when you say that, when you lay the blame on the foot of the APC, the question would be, would APC want to kill its own candidates? Would the APC set up its own candidates? Would the APC want to kill Shoaibu, considering that Shoaibu defecting to the APC, leaving PDP to defect to the APC, already has, to a large extent, tilted some of his voter strengths to APC's favor?
Should I react?
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you very much. Choma, I appreciated it so much when you said you frequent Edo. And I can tell you in confidence based on the activities of the political class within Edo State, especially within the APC. Let me tell you, they said a house divided against itself, the Bible stated it, can never stand. Even in Edo State, anybody who comes out publicly to tell you that the Edo people, the Edo APC is united, that it's fallacy. I tell you, I stand to be challenged anywhere. Now, you recall vividly that the Edo APC had 2 Guba candidates, which after a while, there were resolutions from the National Party, National Working Committee, and resolutions were reached. And also, a structure, a faction of the APC also came up publicly on different fora to make statements, about how they have been marginalized, how they have not been fully, given their rights and all of that within the APC. Now, I am not saying that that is the issue. The governor, in his passionate appeal, said that he needs the culprit to be arrested, quote the governor, please. And if you see that passionate appeal, it comes with a lot of passion and dedication to service. Because if all Nigerian leaders who took oath of office can be this passionate, especially when we go about our functions, believe me, so many issues related to crime, youth vices would be curbed to a standpoint. I agree with you that as the APC chairman, there ought to be reaction because, one, the APC chairman will not ask hoodlums to go and attack their own. But this is a political season whereby a lot, can happen. We don't know who are the brains behind that particular attack. Even the Shaibu himself, who accused the governor. Remember, Shaibu went to court, got victory, to be reinstated as the deputy governor. And we are yet to, even the governor have come up publicly to say that until certain things are done, so that he cannot be able to obey because the governor has never for one day, to the best of my knowledge, disobeyed the rule of law or the court rulings or whatsoever. So in summary, what I'm saying is that the APC should put their house in order, and the APC have on different fora continued to make strong statements. You recall vividly that the Senate president in Cross River made a statement, a very strong one, that they are going to take over Edo State by force, whether they like it or not. And the APC coordinator, governor coordinator, which is O2, also said that within the South, that he is the only APC governor, that he is going to make sure, that, and you see what continue to happen with litigations and the rest of them. What we are saying is that, like you said, who are the people who are suffering? It is the good people of Edo State who suffer marginalization and poor representation. So there is need for peace to be restored in Edo, and there is need for the electorate to be allowed to take a decision on who becomes their next governor, to consolidate in tandem with the good projects and visible things that the governor of Edo State has done for the people of Edo State. Thank you.
Honorable, and we'll go on a short break. When we come back, we'll continue. Do not go away.
Start in the temple of God. What give us access to our money we put in the bank. POS operator, she said $3,000 is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira. Where are we heading to?
I've always said there are 2 sets of people on earth, the oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites. Which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the Tonte. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Corruption not in my country.
Driver, why you just dey jack us up and down like this now?
I hope nobody carry belle.
Why you ask go?
Because this road where they see, so it no guarantee safe delivery.
We just dey vote for government, but we not get good governance.
At all.
Road so no dey, light usai, the infrastructure e come turn to be forbidden fruit for the city.
Corruption, spoil everything.
Hello?
Hello, madam. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Mrs. Ayeni. I am calling from the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs.
Okay. Okay, I've been expecting your call.
Madam, remove this your phone from loudspeaker.
Now my phone be like that. Hello?
Are you there?
I hear, I'm hearing you.
Yes. We saw a copy of your invoice for computers, printers, and laptops.
Yes. Are you working on them now?
Ma, the prices you quoted are way too high now.
Madam, sorry, please don't cost.
We found the laptop you said is 1.8 million naira for 600,000 naira.
Hello?
Now my body network there.
I can't hear you. Network is bad.
Madam, we can hear you. Continue.
Hello, I can't hear you. I will call you back.
That behavior not good now.
Madam, now this kind behavior they kill our country. You suppose do things differently, make Nigeria for better.
Corruption not in my country. This message is brought to you by the Akinfade Foundation, the MacArthur Foundation,
and with broadcast support from Atlantic Television Network.
Corruption not in my country.
I don't get a lot. Boy, they won't booga me small. They say, man, give them bribe. I say, nothing. Okay, now, we'll go block later. You remember that contract where we do that time now? They don't pay.
But first, you see the house with the old things. We go first call caretaker, take the money, slap him.
Beg, see, you know, say I get annual levy why they pay for club. Where me and boys they shark beer in our house, I could pay that one. You remember say me and tell you I go buy you motor. I go buy now.
Okay, they pay you money now. We don't they beg caretaker? Why would they beg landlord, old man, and they agree give us time? Money can't come now. You won't divert time. You said na corruption. Corruption, not in my house and not in my country.
Sure?
Sure.
Corruption not in my country. This message is brought to you by the Akinfade Foundation, the MacArthur Foundation,
and with broadcast support from Atlantic Television Network.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring honest pop news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today. Only on ATN.
Presenting for immediate release of this minister in the Temple of God.
Give us access to our money we put in the bank.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Human rights activist Omoyele Sowore has listed 15 critical demands from Nigerians as part of the upcoming Days of Rage protest. The protest tagged #EndBadGovernance in Nigeria aims to address the country's governance challenges. According to Sowore, a former presidential candidate of the African Action Congress, the demands were compiled from inputs received from Nigerians participating in the #EndBadGovernance in Nigeria campaign. The demands are directed at President Bola Tinubu's administration and are considered non-negotiable by the protesters. The Days of Rage protests scheduled for August 2024 have been preceded by the demands published by Sowore on his X account. The 15 demands from Nigerians include a call for the President Tinubu administration to do the following. 1. Scrap the 1999 Constitution and replace it with a people-made constitution for the Federal Republic of Nigeria through a sovereign national conference immediately followed by a national referendum. 2. Thus the Senate arm of the Nigerian legislative system, keep the House of Representatives and make lawmaking a part-time endeavor. 3. Pay Nigerian workers a minimum wage of nothing less than 250,000 naira monthly. 4. Invest heavily in education and give Nigerian students grants, not loans. Aggressively pursue free and compulsory education for children across Nigeria. 5. Release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu unconditionally and demilitarize the Southeast. All #EndSARS and political detainees must be also released and compensated. 6. Renationalize publicly owned enterprises sold to government officials and cronies. 7. Reinstate a corruption-free subsidy regime to reduce hunger, starvation, and multidimensional poverty. 8. Probe past and present Nigerian leaders who have looted the treasury, recover their loot and deposit it in a special account to fund education, healthcare, and infrastructure. 9. Restructuring of Nigeria to accommodate Nigeria's diversity, resource control, decentralization, and regional development. 10. End banditry, terrorism, and violent crimes, reforms of security agencies to stop continuous human rights violation and duplication of security agencies and enhance the fiscal security of Nigerian citizens. 11. Establish a special energy fund immediately to drive massive corruption-free power sector development. 12. Immediate reconstitution of Nigerian electoral body, INEC, to remove corrupt individuals and partisan hacks appointed to manipulate elections. 13. Massive investment in public works and industrialization will help employ Nigeria's teeming youths. 14. Massive shake-up in the Nigerian judiciary to remove cabals of corrupt generations of judges and judicial officers that continue denying everyday citizens access to real justice. And 15. Diaspora voting. Honorable Lance, we'll deal with the first demand, and that is scrap the 1999 Constitution and replace it with a people-made constitution for the Federal Republic of Nigeria through a sovereign national conference, immediately followed by a national referendum.
Choma, thank you very much. On this particular issue, they said whoever's house is on fire, bottleneck and challenges that Nigerians are facing, as a matter of fact, has made it very clear that Nigeria is boiling. Just like one of my respected elder statesmen, distinguished Senator Ali Ndume, said, you know, that people are angry. Nigerians are angry. For those who don't know what is happening on social media, I follow up on most of these things. Sometimes when I just peruse through my X handle, believe me, I am very, very scared of what may become of this state if this particular protests go on. But now, narrowing it down to the request they made, the first demand, which is calling for scrapping the 1999 Constitution as amended. The truth is that the 1999 Constitution as amended was a constitution established for Nigerians by the former military leadership of this country. And you will understand that that particular constitution, in as much as that is the constitution I hold at high esteem, because the constitution of a community or a society, you know, is what gives them right to certain privileges and others. The 1999 Constitution, if not amended to the best way possible whereby it becomes people-friendly, by now, considering that our democracy has moved from 1999 to 2024, which is about 20-something years, I think that there is need for us to have a new constitution. It is overdue. It is overdue for the National Assembly, which goes across the 347 members of the Federal House of Rep and the 108 senators, to come together and give Nigerians a real constitution that is people-friendly, that is democratic, Because just like I stated in some of different forums that I've spoken with you, the 1999 Constitution gave so much powers to most of the executive arm of the Nigerian electorate. You understand me? Those who are in power. So those who are in executive arm of government, those who are in power. You know, forgive me for that. To reduce, cut down some of the privileges that are enshrined in the 1999 Constitution, both for the executive arm and for other arms of the government, especially within the immunity clause. Because you will agree with me today, Choma, that if not for the immunity clause on the governors and the presidents, so many of these our former head of states and presidents ought to be questioned after they leave office, even while they are in office. Take for instance, when President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan was in office, we questioned a lot of abnormalities that happened within the Ministry of Petroleum. We questioned a lot of abnormalities that happened within the Ministry of Education. But in the time of President Muhammadu Buhari, there were a lot of abnormalities within the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, which were never questioned. There were a lot of misappropriation that happened in different ministries that were not questioned. So I think that, Mr. President, as a true Democrat, who you have always been, if you're hearing me, which I know you will, there is need for the 1999 Constitution, if not amended to the best interest of the people, for us to have a new constitution that is pro-people.
Or are you proposing that the constitution be scrapped and a new constitution, like they are demanding, a people-made constitution, you know, come up?
Well,
which one are you proposing?
Well,
the amendment of the constitution or scrapping the constitution and...
as a parliamentarian who have also studied the constitution very well, if you look at what section 1 of the constitution said based on introduction, it said, as I sitting here in your studio as a member of the Nigerian public, you know, under one God, indissoluble. With that word, I cannot alter anything contrary to the constitution, but I can only appeal that if because when you say scrapping the constitution, you cannot just scrap the constitution because of the validity of the 1999 constitution, the powers therein. You can't scrap it, but it could be altered to a level. It could be amended to, you know, give people the fair hearing. But if it can also be altered the same way to a level, it can also, when there is a referendum, it can also, you know, be removed, and a new constitution can be introduced to Nigerian people. Right.
Now, to a large extent, you feel this can, to a large extent, quell some of the crisis. We are having the constitutional crisis as well. Because when you look at it critically, I mean, you said you have studied the Constitution very, very well.
Yes.
Now, you have talked about the lacuna, or there's so much arrogation of power to the executive arm of government. How about the independence of other arms of government, for example, the judiciary? Because the judiciary, when you look at it critically, is not even independent, as it were, because the president has a hand in the appointments.
Choma, I really love...
So that, to a large extent, even at the state level, it is still the governor.
Absolutely, that appoints the CJ, who becomes the CJ. Exactly. So no, you know, this is the reason why I said, Abinishu, if you remember, on different fora that we've been on your TV, when there was a day you asked me a question, if the leading political party have influence in our judiciary, and you had my submission on that particular subject, because the 1999 Constitution gave the executive arm of the government certain powers superseding other arms of the government, which has also reduced the ability of most of these other arms of government, not just only to function, but for there to be equitable checks and balances. Because, you know, in a democratic rule, you know, the reason why we have 3 arms of government is because for there to be checks and balances. In a place whereby the executive arm of the government fails, the legislative arm of the government ought to query them, because part of the things I wanted to move as